Did he really just confess to being one of the girls? Because child, when I tell y'all this trial has been nothing short of chaotic, I mean it. The courtroom has been filled with some of the most disturbing and shocking details imaginable, and from the looks of it, Diddy may finally be facing serious consequences for his alleged actions. But here's where things take a wild turn. Word on the street is that Diddy's legal team might be switching up their entire strategy. Allegedly, they're planning to admit that Diddy is gay as part of their defense. Now, this isn't brand new speculation. Rumors about Diddy being on the down low have been swirling for years, but fans are convinced this time it's about to go public in a big way. The alleged plan? His team may argue that years of repressing his true identity caused psychological distress, ultimately pushing him over the edge and leading to the alleged crimes he's now facing. Yeah, it's giving desperation, but also chaos. Now listen, Diddy admitting he's been on the DL was definitely not on my 2025 bingo card. He's denied these rumors countless times, but let's not forget, several people have come forward over the years with claims. For instance, remember when Diddy's former bodyguard spilled tea about Diddy allegedly attending gay parties with Will Smith?
At a party before that they attended, and you said the party was weird? Tell me about that.
That's what Tupac was talking about, the Illuminati and shit. It's like Vivica Fox was with this big gay man, he was 6'9". They called his name 6'9". He had the red hair with big old booty and shit. Nobody was gay no more. What the f is going on here? It's just a lot of weird shit.
Another one of Diddy's former bodyguards also claimed he witnessed Diddy engaging in intimate acts with an unnamed rapper, further fueling the long-standing rumors.
Just run out the room naked, and the artist said, "You ain't want to come up in there." It was a lot of freaky shit going on.
But that's not all. Apparently, the feds have had suspicions about Diddy for over 12 years. Now, to be clear, they weren't investigating him for being gay, because there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. What raised red flags was his alleged inappropriate involvement with underage boys. Back in 2013, reports surfaced that federal agencies were investigating Diddy for allegedly engaging in sexual relationships with young boys. During a debriefing with federal investigators, James "Jimmy" Henchman Rosamond, a music manager turned drug kingpin, was reportedly asked about the sexual preferences of various entertainers. According to a U.S. District Court filing, investigators specifically inquired about whether Sean "Diddy" Combs had been involved with underage boys. A prosecutor allegedly asked Rosamond detailed questions about the private lives of celebrities, explicitly bringing up Diddy's name in connection to those disturbing allegations, and it doesn't stop there. Over the years, many people have come forward with claims against Diddy, but he always seemed to avoid consequences. For instance, Orlando Brown once shockingly alleged that Diddy performed a sexual act on him. Yes, that kind of act.
Yo, Diddy, you gave me the ooshkash gooshmash. You gave me the ooshkash muaf, the swooshmash. Diddy. Yeah, son. I mean, you gave me the ooshkash muash. I love it, yo.
And that's not all. Gene Dale also exposed Diddy's alleged intimate encounters with other men.
Hey, yo, Gene, watch the door, don't let nobody come through here. And I said I watched the door. If I watched the door and him and a man ran out and I said that, ain't nobody told me that. I saw that myself.
Rapper Exhibit also claimed that Diddy once took him to a gay bar, and he was so shocked by the scene that he quietly slipped out and went home.
Went out and get a drink. You know, we sitting there bopping to the music, and then she point over the corner. It's two dudes kissing. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, what's this? You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, okay, then there's girls in the club too. And then she pointed another direction. It's another dude over there like.
And don't even get me started on 50 Cent's long history of trying to expose Diddy. Child, this man has been relentless, even going as far as throwing shade from his hospital bed. While recovering, 50 posted on Instagram saying, "Sorry, I can no longer help you guys. Soon you will all be gay and happy. You are all now left under the leadership of Puffy Daddy. Report to the nearest rainbow." Now, if you're coming for someone while laid up in the hospital, you're clearly committed to the beef. Then there was that moment when 50 called out Diddy's infamous parties, claiming they were less about music and more about wild, X-rated antics. He even posted a photo of Lil Baby and commented, "See, this is why I don't go to no party Puffy and them at. The F is going on here? Get the F off my young man. WTF." So yeah, Diddy has been at the center of DL rumors for years, but he's always denied them, insisting he's straight. So why the sudden shift? Why is Diddy now allegedly claiming that he's so deeply repressed that it drove him to commit the disturbing acts he's being accused of? Well, it might have something to do with the explosive testimonies coming out during the trial, essentially one from an exotic dancer named Sherry Hayes, also known as the Punisher Girl. When I say Sherry spilled the tea, He was practically singing in full chorus. He testified that he was first hired in 2012 to perform an exotic dance for Diddy and Cassie. But according to him, things quickly escalated. When the prosecution asked about his first meeting with Cassie, Sherry didn't hold back. He described her as being in the bathroom, wearing nothing but a wig. He expected a crowd but found no one else there. Cassie told him that she and her husband wanted to set a scene using baby oil. The room was dimly lit, with electric candles and bowls of water mixed with bottles of baby oil. She instructed him not to acknowledge her husband, who appeared wearing something similar to a Muslim woman's veil, concealing his face, and it gets even wilder. Sherry Hayes, the exotic dancer known as The Punisher, continued his testimony with more jaw-dropping claims. He said that during one encounter, Diddy had a bottle of Astroglide in hand. When the prosecution asked how the encounter ended, Sherry replied, she went into the other room with him. When she came back, she asked if I wanted to finish. I said no. If they were happy, I was happy. She then gave him more money. He added that this scenario played out 8 to 12 more times with both Diddy and Cassie. Then he described how these freak-offs typically went down. Sherry explained, I'd be contacted around 5 or 7 p.m. for something later. They'd ask for a sexy scene, but I knew it meant more baby oil and atmosphere. He claimed Diddy would give him direct instructions like, sit forward, or move the camera. During one session, Diddy even dropped a stack of cash and said, I like this ish. When asked about the amount of baby oil used, he said, a lot. We were supposed to be glistening as much as possible. The sessions often lasted about 4 hours, including a lot of waiting, with around 40 minutes of actual performance. He said he was expected to finish in a specific spot. When the session ended, Cassie would leave with Diddy for 10 to 15 minutes, then return in a bathrobe and pay him between $1,200 and $2,000 in cash. Another escort, Daniel Phillip, also came forward with claims of engaging in sexual activities with both Cassie and Diddy. According to reports, Phillip allegedly met them at hotels and private residences across Manhattan. He would sometimes text Cassie explicit messages like, I want to F you right now, and other times just ask if she was doing okay. These encounters reportedly lasted anywhere from 1 to 10 hours, and often ended with Phillip being intimate with Ventura alone. Cassie would often go into the bedroom with Combs, leaving Daniel Phillip waiting outside on the couch for hours. Sometimes, they'd eventually call him back in for another round of intercourse. Other times, they'd simply come out and tell him to leave. At this point, it seems like the entire world knows that Diddy is allegedly on the down low. And interestingly, his legal team hasn't even tried to deny the allegations made by the escorts exposing his secret lifestyle. In fact, word on the street is that Diddy's team might be leaning into the narrative. Allegedly, they're preparing to admit that he's been gay, or on the DL, for years, and plan to use that as part of their defense. The idea? That repressing his true identity caused years of emotional turmoil, which allegedly led to his disturbing behavior and actions. Now how they plan to spin this in court and actually sell it to a judge or jury is beyond me. Especially considering how many years Diddy has spent fiercely denying these claims. But one thing's for sure, it's going to be wild to watch them try. Let me know what y'all think about this in the comments, and don't forget to check out the next video.